What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Shooky from Shook Earth Media, and today we're talking about Resident Evil. We got some very positive news about Resident Evil 2, 3, and 7. 2 and 3, of course, referring to the remakes. These are, in my opinion, three of the best games ever made, especially Resident Evil 2 and Resident Evil 7. Two of my favorite games of all time. Absolutely excellent installments in the series. Standouts, the modern day incarnation of Resident Evil has been going strong for many years now, and they've absolutely killed it in installment after installment. Maybe Resident Evil 3 is a little brief on content, but other than that, it's a great game as well. And they are getting PS5 and Xbox Series X versions, and this should be a no-brainer. Everybody should have seen this coming. However, the great news, pro-consumer news, is that Resident Evil 2, 3, and 7 on PC will also receive these upgrades at no additional cost. It's not a new version of the game or remaster or anything like that. It's just little bells and whistles that are going to be added in a free update. I think this is fantastic. I think more companies should do stuff like this, and I very much appreciate that Capcom is willing to stand up behind their previous work and continue to support it. I mean, these games still come out with updates. They do bug fixes still to this day, and they are very good about supporting their titles. So this is just further proof of that. And it's going to be a big year for Resident Evil. I mean, we got these versions of the game coming out. We also got Reverse, which is the multiplayer component for Resident Evil Village that was delayed until this year. I played the beta. You can check my footage of it, and I highly enjoyed this. A lot of people seem to have some issues with it, and there were definitely issues with the beta, so I'm glad it got delayed to work on that stuff. But I think it's going to be a phenomenal game when it's out. At least that's my opinion based on what I played already. But that's coming out. They're working on DLC for Village as well. So Village is still very much going forward, going to be a huge part. And beyond that, who knows what's going to happen. But let's take a look at what they are adding. Specifically, they are getting ray tracing, higher frame rates, and 3D audio. Now, what I wonder about the frame rates thing, I'm assuming that just means they're going up to a 60 FPS version on console. But however, if you look on the Steam page, they say the same thing here. I'm going to switch over here to my display capture so you can see. And it says Resident Evil 2, 3, and 7, they're going to be remade with cutting-edge features like ray tracing, high frame rate, and 3D audio for enhanced gameplay experience. And then there's a little asterisk here, and it says no new gameplay content will be added, which I'm very much okay with. I don't think they even need to touch those games or add anything to them. They're great the way they are. So I find that interesting that even on the PC version, they are advertising it as having higher frame rates. So what does this mean? Does it mean that we have, AI upscaling? That's a thing that could definitely provide higher performance. DLSS, I believe it is, for NVIDIA. And this basically just takes textures, upreses them to a higher resolution, and lets you basically have better performance. There are some issues with it, but a lot of games have had great success with this AI upscaling. I feel like if that was in the mix here, they would specifically mention that on the PC version, but the higher frame rates thing applies to PC version as well, so I'm really wondering what that means. Because as far as I'm concerned, if there's something performance related that could give it a higher frame rate, I feel like they already would have done that. We saw on Village, they had some frame rate issues related to the digital rights management software called Denuvo that is included in the game, which these games didn't have, I don't think. But there was some issues with it that was causing frame rate stuttering and stuff like that. They since patched it out, and now Resident Evil Village runs much better on the PC. And I wonder if it's something like that, although I don't think they had Denuvo on these games. But again, just for console, it's obvious we're going to 60 FPS, and that's great for console players. But I'm curious what that means in the PC realm. Ray tracing, of course, for those who don't know, it's just enhanced lighting and shadow effects and reflections. So what this does is it traces light rays so that there is a more accurate representation of lighting effects and especially reflections. Reflections are handled in the current versions using what's called screen space reflection, which means that it reflects what is on screen. So if you're looking at, say, a water, or you're looking at a bunch of water, if you pan the camera down, you'll notice in the reflection that the reflection only goes as far as the screen shows. So ray tracing enables reflections to apply to things that aren't currently on screen, and of course it's very taxing on the system, and only particular graphics card have this capability. I will not be able to experience this until I upgrade. But I'm still curious if there's going to be other things added as well. Is going to be upres textures. I mean, we got 3D audio. That's really cool. But that's, again, something that you have to have the right headphones or speaker system to really experience. So I'm curious what it's going to appeal to for me, being somebody that doesn't have ray tracing capability yet, and doesn't necessarily have 3D audio yet. So I wonder if there's going to be other upgrades as well, but those are the things that they're leading with. Maybe they won't have extra things, but what I really want is Resident Evil 7 VR support on PC. Can we get that? That would be very nice. It was supported on the PS4 version for PlayStation VR, but they have not added that to the PC version yet. So if they ever will, I assume at this point that they won't, especially if it wasn't announced here. But yeah, in general, these are some of my favorite games. I just wanted to make this video because I want to start covering Resident Evil, some of my favorite games ever, and we're going to get a lot of good content this year out of it. So hit that sub button if you like Resident Evil and you want to hear more about it. I reviewed the recent movie, which I was actually mostly positive about. I did enjoy the movie. It has a lot of things that I would subtract from it if you're a big Resident Evil fan and you're a purist and you want everything to represent how it is in the games. The movie is not that. It's entertaining. It was definitely above my expectations, but it has a lot of issues as well, and I cover that in my review if you want to check it out. But other than that, I have my Resident Evil Village playthrough on the channel if you want to check that out. But other than that, we're going to be covering the DLC as we see trailers and stuff. We're going to do reactions. We're going to cover any new movies or anything that come out Resident Evil related. I just wanted this to become something that we cover on the channel a lot. So that's why I wanted to make this video today, guys. Hit that sub button if you like Resident Evil. Definitely hit me up in the comments down below if you want to voice your opinion on it. What do you think? What else are they going to add to it? Is it going to be worth it? Is it just a cash grab? From what I understand of the PlayStation and Xbox versions, you can get an upgrade. See if I can specify that. I'm not sure. Yeah, you'll receive a free upgrade. So it's a free upgrade for people on console as well. Of course, you have to buy the new console. So very pro-consumer move, and Resident Evil, I love what they're doing with it. I'm excited for the future of the franchise. Let's get it, Capcom. So that's my video for today, guys. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Hit me with the like if you like, and I hope to see you on the next video. Thanks for watching, everybody. Peace out.